As a corn farmer, I make my living off the soil, and I want to protect that soil, I want to enhance that soil, I want to do everything I possibly can to make it better. I kind of always knew that I wanted to be a farmer. My parents obviously inspired me, both of them being farmers, so every free moment that I had, whether I was riding in the tractor, running equipment, whatever, I just absolutely loved this lifestyle. I remember one year my dad was like, nope, you're not gonna ride with me anymore, you're gonna be the one running the cultivator. And it was just terrible. I absolutely hated that experience, and I'm like, gosh, maybe I need to reevaluate what I thought I absolutely loved. But then second day was better, and then it got good, and it really turned a negative experience into a positive experience. Over time with farming, I've learned a few things. Don't be afraid to fail. I mean, take chances, whether it's switching to no-till or switching to a cover crop, whatever. But just do it on a small scale. Do the scenario planning of best case scenario, but then also worst case scenario. Never be afraid to keep learning. Understand what's on the forefront. Have a good plan of, okay, this is what the path to success looks like. One of my favorite parts about being a farmer is that there's seasonality to it. So there's a lot of variety. I mean, starting right now, it's springtime, and so the ground is ideal conditions. So we're out there planting. A lot of long hours, don't see the family quite as much, miss a few suppers, that sort of thing. We're fortunate enough to have irrigation, so we can start irrigate in the summer, and then harvest hits or fall hits, and it's all hands on deck and get the crop in, because that's how we survive, that's how we make our money, is by harvesting what we've sown. And then winter, it's doing maintenance and maybe delivering some corn to the elevator, and it's a slower time, and so you do more of the planning preparation part. It's pretty amazing how fortunate we are in our operation that, my parents can be involved at times. During harvest one day, my mom might have been running a grain cart, and my dad was running the combine, and I was in a semi, and my wife was in another semi. And so just that we're all able to be very productive and get, these things done, but it's just very fulfilling or very rewarding to be able to have such a close family operation. So I want to do everything I possibly can to get every raindrop that I get into the ground. Whether that's employing some cover crops, definitely no-tilling. I want to use every drop of rain that I get to help grow that crop, and then supplement it with irrigation if I have to. And now I feel like we've got a pretty good system, and so in the fall, after harvest, I seed some rye. It's basically like grass then in the spring that I'm planting in. Also, if you get a big rain or a couple of big spring rains, then it does help anchor the soil, hopefully have better infiltration, that you don't have as much erosion going down to the Mississippi River. So that really fills me with a sense of pride, or really sense of fulfillment that I'm doing the right thing. I'm preserving these resources that my parents, grandparents, the generations before me have worked to build to this point, and so now hopefully I'm taking them to the next level. So yesterday we were loading the planter with another box of seed. I had my daughter come up and I said, welcome to my office here. And so, she helped dump the seed in, and it's just truly a blessing that we're able to spend that time together, and that she can see this is really how we make our living, get that understanding. Farming is a very competitive business, and so you need to always be willing to innovate. There's always things to learn, different ways to tweak your management techniques just to make sure that you're doing the best job you possibly can, with the resources that you have to invest in the crop to hopefully get the best return. The land that I farm has been in our family for over 120 years. I'm only a small part of that, whether that's 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it is. But in the grand scheme of things of the soil, that's just a snapshot. I want to make it better, to improve the soil, to build it up. That's what I want to do. I'm a Nebraska corn farmer and the 5th generation on this farm.